Hello and welcome to Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC.
A weekly podcast and YouTube channel where we discuss all things Wrexham AFC from the point of view of long-term fans and new fans.
So sit back, put your feet up, relax and let's get stuck in.
Hello and welcome back to episode 58 of Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC. How you doing?
Yeah, good. It's a bit stressful this morning. So we've got a new setup. So a new studio, new lighting, new equipment, new chairs, new everything. So just bear with us for a couple of weeks. Hopefully we've hit the sweet spot straight away and everything works perfectly. I'm going to guess it might take a couple of weeks just to get everything exactly as it is, but fingers crossed, fingers crossed. I wanted to bring something up before we start.
Okay.
Something that I think is really important, something I think we probably need to stamp out the game completely, something I saw online this week. And there's no real place for it in the game, I don't think, and it's something we need to get rid of. And the thing that I saw was you taking the mick out of Walsall fans. Oh, it made me laugh. I was there at the time and it made me chuckle then and it made me chuckle after. Sian got a bit of abuse online this week. So we went on to a Walsall podcast. No, it wasn't a podcast, it's a vlog, sorry, on YouTube. Young guy, great guy, really good at what he does. And we were asked to give our opinion on the game. I did a preview on the game. We were asked for our review after the game. And Sian was just trying to be nice. So what Sian said was, the good defence, the goalkeeper played well. And the abuse she got online for saying, how's our defence played well? We've just conceded 4. How's our keeper done well? Oh, it was defence. Anyway. I
got called a Karen.
You did get called a Karen.
I got called a Karen.
Look, I think, to stand up for Sian just a little bit, I think she was just trying to be nice. It wasn't a Wrexham vlog, it was a Walsall one, and you were just trying to be nice, weren't you?
Now I'm going to rip.
You were though, weren't you?
I was trying to be nice. Yeah, I was.
And it backfired on you.
Drastically, it backfired on me, yeah. It is what it is.
After I was moaning last week, shirts hadn't arrived.
Oh God, I'm so glad.
Shirts have arrived. Yes, shirts have arrived. I'm wearing the black one today.
I put my black one on and Ryan goes, I was going to wear my black one.
Well, yeah.
We wear our red ones both at the same time, so...
Yeah, a few people who got in tups. So Jay Hampton Jr. on YouTube, it said, it took my shirt 10 to 12 days to get here in America. Didn't have to wait too long, and I love the shirt up the town. Well, that's very nice. It only took 10 to 12 days to travel to the other side of the world. Brilliant. David Williams on YouTube. I've had the black one for a few weeks now. Brilliant. Ordered mine like you on the day of release. Matthew Whelan 8806, which is also YouTube, I think. Woke up at 3 a.m. to order the third shirt. Received order confirmation almost immediately and nothing else in the month since. Tried reaching out to the club and received an automatic reply which directed me to an email address that doesn't exist.
Oh my God.
Feel your pain, Matthew, but mine's here now, so I'm going to stop moaning about it and we can move on. Bit of news, new signing. Liam Hall has joined us from Bradford Park Avenue. He's another goalkeeper. We've got about 12 of them now, haven't we?
We've also got Luke McNicholas.
Yes, yeah, we talked about him.
Did we talk about him last week?
Yeah.
Do you know what? There's been loads going on this week. I can't remember when happened and what happened. So
we've got 5 goalkeepers in total now. I do sort of maybe get the reasoning why. Because we've got a couple of goalkeepers who are ageing, and so it's about them learning, isn't it,
Yeah.
from decent keepers, and then moving forward and trying to develop the youngsters.
Yeah,
I would guess that's where we're going with that one.
Do you reckon any of those newbies will be playing at the Newcastle under-21 game?
Well, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
Or even the Carabao Cup, maybe?
Yeah, but you've also got Mark Howard, who isn't getting game time, and Rob Langton as well. So I think you've got to look after them maybe a little bit first.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe
the under-21s, maybe.
I think they're there. They're there to learn and develop.
Yeah.
And and then we're going to make a decision on if we want to keep them or not. My guess would be that's where we're going to go with it. Tranmere tickets came out this week.
Oh, we got it. We didn't get any.
We didn't get any. No, we are really disappointed. Look, we've got tickets for every away game that we've tried to go to. So we can't be too disappointed. We are disappointed.
We are disappointed.
But, at the end of the day, when you think of all the away games that we've been to, it's all right to miss out on one or two now and again. And like I say, this is the first one we missed out. 1 point, though. We were trying to queue up on 3 separate devices, weren't we? One of the devices that you were using wouldn't go into the queue at all.
No.
Mine went from no queue, there's no queue, there's no queue. You're 1,577 in the queue, which seemed odd because I've been waiting for 20 minutes to get into the queue.
Yeah.
So one of our devices ended up in the queue.
Yep.
The other 2 wouldn't even go into the queue.
It eventually did, though.
Yours
Mine
eventually
did, yeah.
And then my second device eventually did about 10-15 minutes after the queue had opened. So, although I understand there are a lot of people who want tickets at the moment, it does grate on me a little bit. I was there, I was ready. I don't understand how I've ended up that far down the queue.
I'm not sure the queuing system is working as it should, maybe. I don't know.
Price of success?
What?
Price of success? Do you think that so many people want tickets?
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Of course it is. It's nothing new, is it? It's been like this for the past 2 seasons.
Yeah, there's a lot of... I'm not going to get into it too much because I think it's definitely something we will talk about. Perhaps we'll get somebody on who wants to voice an opinion about away tickets, potentially point systems, all that sort of stuff. We will come back to this. I think we'll circle back around.
I'm not sure I agree with the point system purely because...
We'll circle back around to this.
No, I know. I just want to get this out purely because I get why people want it.
Yeah.
But I also think that a lot of people may not be able to go to the home games because of transport, money.
Yeah.
So they might not be able to go to every single home game. So penalising them with points, I just think it's a bit... I don't know, it's a bit of a difficult one, but yeah, we'll circle back to it.
We'll circle back. Injury watch.
Watch.
You've got something I haven't written down that you've seen, haven't you? So
literally just seen it. I'm not even sure how true it is because I went on to I think it was either Twitter or Instagram, I can't remember.
X,
not Twitter. And it basically had a picture of Tozer. Of Ollie Palmer in a knee brace.
Okay.
But I don't know how old that is. That could have been last year. It could have been during the summer. I don't know. But I went onto Ollie Palmer's social media and I couldn't see anything on there, so I'm not sure.
So keep an eye out for that one.
Yeah, not sure what that is.
We're not 100% sure.
It could just be precautionary.
Yes, it could be.
Yeah,
Could be. Just to run through some of the injuries we've got. Aaron Hayden is currently back in training, so he was running. He was touching grass.
He was running.
He was on the grass. He was just running. He wasn't kicking balls, nothing like that. He was just running. And that was last week. Mm-hmm. So fingers crossed for a return for him soon. Jordan Davis is out for 4 to 6 weeks. Oh. I keep hearing different reports of how long he's out for, but roughly 4 to 6 weeks. James McLean's out for 3 weeks, but that was as of last week, so we're probably down to 2 weeks for him now.
It's not a good start, is it?
Not really. And Paul Mullin, I think from an interview I saw with Parky this week, I think we're looking at weeks as opposed to months.
Thank God.
Yes, I think that'll be a big plus when that happens.
Oh my God, the games will just get turned around. I can just feel it when Mullin comes back. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
Okay. Let's start with Walsall anyway. Let's start with that before we get into the absolute circus that was the Swindon game. Let's start with Walsall. So, before we get into the game itself, do you think Tuesday, bearing in mind we had lost one and drawn one in the league, did you think that was a must-win?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't... Yeah, I think it was just to kind of put the faith back into the lads again, because I think some people were like starting to moan, saying, "Oh, we did so well in National League and and now we're doing crap." Do you know what I mean? It's like, even though they're completely two different leagues, and the caliber of players in different leagues is just immense. So for me personally, I think I'm glad we won, because we definitely needed that.
It felt like we needed to get going, and get at least one win on the board. Look, 1 win in 4 that we've got now isn't amazing, but we've won one. We've chalked up our first win, which I do think was really important. Was it a must win? Hindsight's a brilliant thing, because now we know what happened on Saturday. It probably was a must-win, really, because we could be sitting here now going with 4 games in and we haven't won any, which would have been a very different conversation, I think. So obviously, as we said, no place in the squad for James McLean. We know now that he's out for a few weeks. Luke Young was back. What, you fuming that Luke Young was back?
I'm talking about... Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself and thinking about the... Yeah, sorry.
Luke Young was back in the starting lineup.
I'm happy about that.
Yes, I was happy about that as well. Will Boyle made, obviously, his home debut at the racecourse. And he scored his first goal.
It was a corker.
Yeah, it was a lovely header.
It was a lovely
eight
header.
minutes in. 8 minutes in. Great start to the game. It's nice to get some early goals.
Yeah.
And then, what did you make of Boyle's performance as a whole?
Good goal.
Yeah.
I'm undecided at the moment.
Yeah.
But I think I was the same with I can't remember who got signed. I think I probably was the same with Ollie Palmer, to be honest. Oh no, I wasn't. With Howard. I can't remember who it was, but somebody who signed last season, I was a bit unsure about them.
You need to see him get
them
going.
Yeah. He seems...
It just seems like a meathead to me.
Yeah, I
love
mean...
it. I do. I love that sort of defender who's just no nonsense, like Tunnicliffe. Bosh, bang. Just a meathead.
Boyle.
I did see a post online on Twitter, and he said someone said they love him. They said he looks like he's either had the hardest paper round known to man, or he's just come off the set of Train Spotting, they said. But he just looks like a no-nonsense meathead defender. I like his interviews as well, because I've seen a couple of interviews after the Walsall game. We'd won our first game of the season, we'd scored 4. He just wasn't happy. He wasn't happy. He wasn't like, we've conceded 2. It's not what we want to do. I'm disappointed at letting a goal in late on. I like that. That's what you want from a defender. Yeah. You don't want him to be sort of basking in the glory of, of winning.
Yeah.
It's about looking and going, right, we've conceded 2. Why have we conceded 2? Why have we conceded a late goal? So I'm into him. I think he's, I am. Same old question. That I always ask, when everyone's fit, who's the back 3?
I don't know.
Look, O'Connell's done all right.
He's yeah.
But we've fallen into a hole there, aren't we? Because we're saying defenders have done all right when we've conceded a ridiculous amount of goals. We've conceded, what have we conceded? 13?
Yeah.
13 goals we've conceded in 4 games. And, so to look at the defenders that are playing and going, yeah, they're doing all right. I think it's so tough. I would probably go with Boyle on the left.
Yeah.
Tozer in the middle and Hayden on the right when they're all fit. I think that's probably where I'd go with my back 3. Is a back 3 the way to go in this league? That's a whole different question. That's the way I believe Parky's going to go in this league. Regardless of what we think, I think that's what he's going to do. Do I think 4 at the back probably suits us better? Maybe, but...
Who would you put in for the 4th then?
No, it wouldn't be 4. It'd be Mendy and Barnett or Ford, and then it'd be 2 centre-backs.
Oh, right, okay.
But Tozer was signed on the understanding that he would be at the middle of a back three. So if you go to a back four, you've got to get buy-in from players as well. It's not just a case of going, right, we're switching this. Certain players have been signed on the understanding that this is the system that they're playing in. And I get that a manager's decision is a manager's decision, although...
But a contract's a contract as well, though, isn't it?
Palmer made it 2-0. Really good goal. Brilliant, to be honest. He was on my
Effortless.
He was on my man of the match list. How important Palmer do you think while Mullin's not here?
For me, he is important.
Yeah.
But Bickerstaff seems to be stepping up that little bit more for me.
Okay, that was a question further down the line from me. But do you think Bickerstaff's more important?
I love him. Yeah. I think he's brilliant, and I hope that when Mullin does come back, there is space for him on the starting team or even on the bench, because I just think he is...
It's going to be on the bench, I think. I can't imagine him starting. I think Mullin will start, and I think they'll put Palmer or Dalby with him, because that's how Phil likes to play. Big man, little man. That's how he likes to play. Do we need to switch that up a little bit? Maybe.
I just think Bickerstaff has just, the past couple of games, he's just been a little workhorse.
Yeah, they scored a well-worked goal. Walsall, little corner, training ground routine from the corner, well worked, and then obviously Bickerstaff got his goal.
So happy he got that goal.
It was well worked. I'm with you. I'm happy that he got his goal. I think he's worked really hard.
Yeah.
And I think he definitely deserved it. We obviously look good going forward. Are we still vulnerable at the back?
I don't know.
Possibly. I'll answer it for you. We definitely are.
Yeah.
This week we've seen the team concede 7 goals. And it is worrying at times for me. I don't know. I don't know where we go from here, but it's just got to get better for me. Waters came on. He had a near miss. I thought he needed that so much. He needed that to go in.
He's another one that works his butt off.
He does, but he's not getting his goals, is he?
No.
He's not so much getting his chances that much, but when he does get his chances, he needs to be taking them.
Yeah.
And I was gutted that he didn't score there. But Lee scored the 4th, and then we had a Ford own goal, obviously, which I've mentioned that Boyle was a little bit disappointed. Well, who was your man of the match? Bickerstaff, because it went to Lee, didn't it? The man of the match on Tuesday. Yes. The man of the match after the Swindon game was Bickerstaff. If I'm going to be completely honest, I think that's the wrong way round. I think probably Bickerstaff was man of the match on Tuesday, and I think Lee was probably man of the match for the Swindon game.
Lee gets it all the time.
Yes, but you can't just spread it around because somebody gets it all the time.
Isn't the man of the match the people that go, I want my photograph taken with that player, so I'm going to...
It is.
Yeah.
It is, yes.
So obviously they wanted their picture taken with Lee that week, didn't
yes,
they?
But I just think it was the wrong way round.
Okay.
I very much think Elliot Lee was man of the match on Saturday.
I think Tuesday's game...
And I think Bickerstaff was man of the match on Tuesday.
I think last Tuesday's game, I think it was a tough choice. Because I think there was a few people that maybe deserved man of the match. Yes. Mendy, I mean, although he was absolutely shattered at the end of it. He worked really hard.
I thought he was superb, yeah.
Bickerstaff, Lee, Barnett, Ford.
Barnett didn't come on till late, did he, on Tuesday? So I think Ford was very good in the first half, playing against his former team. I thought he put in a real good performance. He tailed off a little bit in the second half, which is probably why he wasn't in the conversation for man of the match, in my opinion. Palmer was definitely up there on Tuesday night. I thought he was excellent. Lee was there, Bickerstaff. There was some good performances.
There was a few.
There was a few good performances.
There was a few.
So let's move on to the absolute circus that was Saturday.
Oh my God.
I mean, I don't know where to start. Where do we start with this?
I just wanted, our 7-year-old nephew was there, Zach, and he made me laugh because we were obviously playing and and we were conceding goals. And he went to me, I thought we were supposed to be good, Auntie Sean.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, that is true, and that is a 7-year-old's view right there, isn't it?
Yeah, say it how it is.
Yeah, very much say it how it is.
Yeah.
So,
Where do we start?
Where do we start? I've said that 5 times, I think now. So anyway, we were 2-0 down after 25 minutes. Let's start there.
Yeah.
Okay, so quite a poor start. 2-0 down. I think they had 2 shots on target. Scored them both. Their first one was Charlie Austin's header across, and the guy nodded it in. Tozer was on the line. Perhaps could have done a little bit better on the line. And then the second one was Charlie Austin himself. We knew the danger Charlie Austin could pose. He set the first one up and he scored the second one.
Yeah.
Nipped in front of the defender. Put it past Foster.
But that's not where it ended.
No, God, no. I mean, Big Staff pulled one back.
Yes.
Excellent goal. Very good. I was looking across to see who he was going to pull that back to. And as it turned out, didn't need anyone. He just scored himself. Excellent. Very good goal. And then we were 4-1 down after 34 minutes. And you're just sitting there going, right, what's going on here? What is actually happening? I was disgusted with the performance. It was just our midfield was like a sieve. They were just waltzing right through the middle, and the abuse that our sort of defence is getting at the moment, and that Ben Foster's getting at the moment, I just think it all stems. There's 11 men out there to defend. Defending starts at the front.
There's no I in team.
There isn't me though. But anyway, you start defending starts at the front, and I think that's where you miss Mullin a lot.
Yeah.
The work that he puts in defensively without the ball, I think you miss that massively. But once they sort of broke through that, there was no midfield. I just don't think you can play Cannon and Jones together. I just don't think you can. Look, JJ does what he does very well.
He's good.
In the sense of, he is the guy that will run. I'd love to see his stats, because he must run about 15, 16, 17 kilometres in a game, I would guess.
To me. Don't do kilometres.
No, but he must run some distance. But that's what Parky wants him to do. He's got the engine. He's the guy who wins the bleep test at the start of the season, because he's got that engine to run, close down. The ball's gone there, you go there, you close that down. The problem with that is you end up with a hole where just a static midfielder would be, right? Okay, so if they beat James Jones, let's be honest, you can beat one player with a little triangle around him, done. You beat him, you move on. That's where Cannon should then be stepping in.
Yeah.
Lee's will come back and defend a little bit, but he's an attacking player. So, you've got your little triangle, you beat James Jones. Where's Cannon? I don't know. He seemed missing, and I thought he was miles off the pace on Saturday, and they were just walking through our midfield. Now, for all the abuse you give the defence and you give Ben Foster, whatever if that's how you want to live your life, do whatever. But if the midfield do a better job of closing that ball down and putting tackles in, it doesn't get that far, and it doesn't give the defence a problem to deal with.
Yeah.
Now, I will admit, when it does get that far, the defence need to be doing better to deal with that problem.
Yeah.
But we can't keep allowing teams to have a free run through the middle of the pitch over and over again to get into positions when they're going to have shots and they're going to have chances to score. That's my big problem. Oh God, have we got any time left? I feel like I've been talking for ages. Would you have started with the same team that started Tuesday? Because we didn't.
See,
Because Luke Young didn't play.
Yeah.
He started Tuesday, he didn't play. What would you have started with? Would you have just gone, right, okay, this team's performed pretty well.
This team worked well. Let's duplicate that on Saturday.
Do you think the strength in depth is a problem then? Because you've got too
Too
many.
many choices.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Is it a kid in a sweet shop
I
sort
mean,
of thing?
it's like, it's such a good thing to have strength and depth that then it's like, oh, God, we've got strength and depth. I can get that it can be a bit of a tough choice. But, like I said, if the team on Tuesday against Walsall were played well together, why not get them to do the same thing on the Saturday? Why mix it up? Why take Young off the starting 11? I don't get it.
No, I don't. I'm with you. I would have started with the same team that started Tuesday. I felt that we were a better team when Luke Young come on.
Always.
I don't know about always, but I just felt there was more solidity in the middle. When we came back out in the second half and they'd made no changes, what were your thoughts on that?
I was a little bit surprised because I think it was to your dad actually. I said to him, I wonder, because your dad said, if Parky's going to make any changes, he needs to do it quick. And I said, well, I wonder whether he'll do it before the second half. And obviously the changes will come on the second half. But no, so I was surprised. I thought I was a bit... I was
surprised, but then I thought about it a little bit more and I maybe understand why he didn't change anything, because maybe he had the belief that if he shouted at them in the right way, that they would respond, and maybe he wanted to give the players who were out there in the first half the opportunity to go and prove, right, you've been crap.
Yeah.
Go and prove me wrong that you are, and show me that you're better than this, which they did, and we pulled 2 back. We got the penalty.
Questionable.
A little bit questionable. I felt that maybe Palmer pulled the defender over a little bit more than very much 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
But we'll take it.
But we'll take it.
Because if we didn't have that penalty, who knows where we'd be.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And then JJ had that little dink over the keeper.
That was so good.
Later on. I mean, where was all that energy and flair in the...
I said to you on the way out, God, I can never remember who I've said stuff to, but I said, why didn't they do what they did in the second half in the first half? But then I think to myself, well, Wrexham's known for this. They're known for, sometimes they play a bit crap in the first half, and in the second half it's like, right, something switched. Yeah. But it's like, we're in League Two now. That might have been great for, National League, because it obviously got us to where we are now. But, you've got to play like you played in the second half in the first half. You've got to get those early goals to, put pressure on the other team.
I mean, we got back into the game and we were right in the game. And then to turn around and let them score again. And do you know what? The fifth one, and I know you know this, but the fifth one wound me up the most.
Really? You never would have guessed.
I was fuming, absolutely fuming, because the player, I can't remember his name, whoever he is, he was on the ball.
Yep.
Right? And I was like, he's going on his left. He's going to cut in on his left. He's going to cut in on his left. He's going to cut in on his left. And he cuts in on his left and he scores. I was absolutely fuming because he's a left-footed player, right? Show him down the outside. 2 things. It's on his weaker foot. Mm-hmm. He had already hit the bar on his weaker foot, but by the by. It was on his weaker foot. And also, you're showing him away from goal. You're not showing him into the middle. And I was screaming it. I was sat in the stands. Nearly swore. I was sat in the stands. I knew where he was going. And I was sat in the stand. You had 3 players around him, professional footballers, and they didn't stop it. And I was fuming with that.
Fuming!
Do you blame Foster for any of the goals?
Well, at the time I did. I'm going to be honest and say I did. It's like Chris and Adrian from Two Beards. They said exactly the same thing about another game. But then obviously Tuesday happened and they kind of retracted. But at the time, when you're in that kind of, environment and, the pressure's on, you just blame anyone, don't you? And who's the best person to blame but the goalkeeper? But like people keep saying, the team isn't just one man. The defence team should be Stop
The
it.
defence team.
The defensive players.
Yeah, defensive players. Yeah.
Well, why did you say it like that then, as if I said it wrong?
You said defence team.
Defensive team. Yeah, whatever. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Anyway, they should be preventing that from happening in the first place. So
I've watched the highlights a couple of times.
I was going to say, we watched the highlights and yeah, some of them...
I'm not sure he's to blame for any of them.
No.
Is he a bit slow getting down? Maybe. Some of them are quite point blank. I'm not sure he's saving any of them. I'm not sure many savers, many keepers are saving many of them.
What, even the one with the player on his weakest foot?
He wasn't on his weaker foot. He went on his stronger foot. That was my point. Should have shown him onto his weaker foot, but they didn't.
Oh, I get you now.
So I'm not sure. Anyway, so JJ popped up with another one later on. Lee scored in the 96th minute. We got a draw. I'm not completely happy with that. Because we've conceded 5 goals at home. I'm happy we've come back.
Yeah.
What annoys me is when you see online, the fighting spirit they showed to come back from. Yeah, that's fine, right? We can't keep being happy with coming back from 3 goals down after 34 minutes. We can't keep doing that and then going, well done, lads. It's not well done, is it? Why are you in that position in the first place? Look, the second half, I wouldn't call the second half into question. There was fight, there was energy, there was flair, there was, quick passing.
But where was
there
all
was
that
everything.
in the first half?
But we can't just ignore the first half because we played well in
we got a point.
one of 2 halves in a game.
Yeah.
You can't do that. And in this league, you will get found out time and time and time again. You just will. And that's my problem. Anyway, look, we've got someone on. Anyway, I keep going on. So
links in quite well with what we've just been talking about.
It does. So we've got someone on to have a little chat with us. So basically, we always have a Wrexham fan on, don't we?
Yes.
So this week we thought we'd mix it up a bit. So we've got a fellow podcaster on. He's actually the kit man for Swindon Town. And so we wanted to get a perspective on such a mental game from someone from Swindon. So we have Steve Hooper, as I say, who's the kit man for Swindon Town. And he does a podcast called Life of a Kit Man. We'll link all that down in the description for you as well. So Steve, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Yeah, very well. Yourselves? What a crazy one that was.
So Steve, what the hell happened yesterday?
Yeah, you tell me. I have no idea. I'm like, wow, what a game. Incredible game.
So you were up 4-1 in the 34th minute. So what were you thinking at that point?
Well, from our point of view, we were like, what's going on here? Like, we played well the last few games, and it's been coming. I think we had 49 shots in 2 games or something silly. So a lot of goals have been coming. Like Charlie Austin's had chance after chance, and it just hasn't gone the right way for him until yesterday, obviously. But he's been getting assists, and then other lads have been chipping in with goals. So we've been looking like we're going to score goals. So to get 4 in the first 34 minutes, we were like, wow, it's all coming together. Like, we're there. Do you know what I mean?
So you go in 4-1 at half-time, and you've got a little bit more of an insight than the normal fan, being in the dressing room and all that. And I know it's not, the players aren't thinking it's job done because they're professionals and, they're going to keep going. But the question really is, what are they thinking? Are they thinking, we've got this?
No, I mean, it's more a case of keeping on doing what you're doing, understanding that the opposition that you're beating 4-1 aren't going to come out the same for the second half. They're going to change something. They're going to be more motivated. They're going to be ready to go and try and get back in the game. And everybody knows, even at 4-1, momentum's massive. So if you can get an early goal second half and you can get back to 4-2, you can get back to 4-3 like you guys did, and then you've got all the momentum, especially at home with the big crowd behind you and everything else. And that, I'm sure that's probably what the message was in the opposite dressing room. And ours was very much, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing really, really well. Keep working the way you're working. Keep but nothing silly, like, you're 4-1 up, manage where you need to manage, all the things that you'd expect, really. And I mean, so when the lads go back out for the second half, this is the same at every game. Me and Jonah, the other kit man, we stay in the changing room, we tidy things up, we get things ready so that when they come back in after the game, everything's ready to go, and we've almost got a head start on packing away to get out of the ground as quick as possible. So we're in there and we're just saying to each other, look, if we can get through the first 10 minutes of this half without conceding a goal, then it will probably be game over. And then we hear there's a goal, and then we hear there's a penalty. And then by the time we get back out, it's 4-3, and we're like, wow, what's happened here? But then you go and score a fifth goal, and you think that's game done as well.
So yeah, to be fair, I thought the game was over after 4-1 and 5-3.
Yeah. I tell you what, something I never do, never ever do, is I never leave a game early.
Nope.
That didn't change on Saturday. I didn't leave early, but I never go in at half time early either. And on Saturday, for the first time ever, I left at 40 minutes to go and get a pint. And I never do that. But Steve, when it goes 4-2 and 4-3, do you still think you've got it, or does a little bit of panic set in?
No, not really. You still think you've got it because, you guys have got the 2 goals, but you then, next time you get the ball, you try and keep the ball. You try and look after it. Then we have a chance, Dan Kemp hits the crossbar and it comes back out. And you're thinking, well, we're still going to break. We still look like we're going to score most times that we go forward. So you're thinking, well, there's definitely another goal in there for us. And then we scored a 5th. And that's when you think, well, probably game over. But you can't think like that in football because, as you guys know, especially at lower league football, not so much in the Premier League or the Championship, but especially League 2, National League, where you guys have been for so long before this year. Well done on getting up, by the way. It's crazy. There can be 2 goals in 2 minutes. A whole game can change on one thing happening, or a penalty being given, or a handball that isn't a handball. A handball that hits him in the shoulder. You know what I mean? Could be anything. Like, mad.
So what was the atmosphere like in the dressing room at half time, Steve?
It's always just keep working. It's always, you're never ahead of yourselves. You're never too down if you're losing. It's just keep working. We know what, there's good messages go out, and the players know what we've done well, what we've not done well, and what we need to do in the second half. So, I'm sure that's the same in most dressing rooms, to be honest. I mean, we've worked with probably 10 managers in the last 5 years, and it's the same things. Like they look, it's just how it's delivered that's different for me. And if it's delivered in a positive, motivating way, then you get, the responses you want. And obviously, in the other dressing room, it was delivered in a way that motivated you guys to go back out and get back into the game.
Yeah,
obviously ours was as well. Our guys are exceptional with it. But yeah, it's one of them things, isn't it?
Taking it a bit further on, what was the atmosphere like in the dressing room at full time?
Disappointment, obviously, because when you're that far ahead and everything else, you want to win the game. You go away any game, anywhere. If you go away from home and you score 5 goals, you want to win. But on the flip side of that, if you score 5 goals at home, you should probably win. So it's just a bit of a mad game, wasn't it? It was like an anomaly of a game. It was crazy.
I mean, you say it's an anomaly, but in 3 games this season, we've conceded 5 goals at home twice.
We did talk about this on the way back. Me and Jonah were talking about this. Like, yeah, obviously, it needs some work. It needs some shoring up. But, you've got so many, like Bentos' long throw. Clubs ain't going to deal with it. Or you'll deal with it for 80 minutes and then one will drop and it'll be a goal. The one time that you switch off from it or you lose your marker or whatever, ends up in the net. Yeah, so you've got a lot. And, as we were saying as well, you've got James McLean and Paul Mullin to come back. I mean, we had Paul Mullin before. He was at Swindon before he went to Tranmere, and then on to Cambridge, and then to you guys. And he was good for us. So, we know what he's about. But yeah, I mean, you've got some big hitters to come back into the team. So I think you'll be all right. I don't think there's anything to worry about.
No, not yet. With regards to Swindon, what are your hopes for the season?
I mean, it sounds cliche, but we genuinely don't look past the next match. Within the group, you never talk about any further. Maybe you look at it in 4-game blocks and you say, right, well, if we can get these points out of the next 4 games, then that'll put us in a good position. For example, people will be like, oh, well, you scored 4 goals away, you should have won. But we beat Forest Green Tuesday night. So we got 4 points out of Forest Green away and Wrexham away. Now, if someone had said at the start of the week, take 4 points from that, you'd go, yeah, all right. You'd have taken it. Of course you would. Especially home game at the weekend. And, of course you would. So, yeah, you kind of got to keep some perspective. But we don't really look past the next game or the next couple of games, really. And just try and do what you need to do to get the points that you need to get. Do you know what I mean?
So, Steve, before we go, obviously we've mentioned you do a podcast. It's quite obviously quite Swindon heavy, you being the Swindon Kit Man, but I think it's very good to get an insight into a football club, and I think it's a good watch, a good listen for anybody, to be honest. So tell us a little bit about your podcast.
Okay, well, it started really. We started messing around with TikTok because people kept asking, "Oh, what is your job? What do you do?" So instead of just answering the same question all the time, we thought, well, we'll just show them what we do. So we started with TikTok, which is at Life of a Kitman, by the way, for anyone who wants to go and give it a follow. Because we know Wrexham are heavily involved with TikTok, or were until this year. So yeah, we started with that. We're messing around with that. We show a bit of like the behind the scenes stuff, the training ground stuff, the setups of each changing room that we go to, that kind of thing. I put the Wrexham one up last night. So you see inside the changing room, you see how it looks when we get there with all the gear, and then it transitions to when it's set up, and then a little walk out to the pitch from the changing room. So it gives people a little insight into what that looks like. And the training ground stuff, it's bits of fun with players. It's Jonah, the other kit man, messing around. He loves to mess around in a very positive way. He sung a song. There was a song on the music box, and yeah, he was singing along, and I got my phone out and filmed it, and it went mad, and it had like 2.7 million views, and we picked up 40 odd thousand followers from it, and yeah, so it just went a bit crazy. But then we just kind of thought, well, where can we take it from here? Like, how do we move it forward? Because after a while, especially on TikTok, things get a bit stale. And once you've seen it, and then you move on and you see something else. So we thought, well, what can we do? So we set up the Instagram, we set up the Twitter, and all the time that was geared to the fact that we were going to do the podcast. So the Instagram and the Twitter are heavily weighted to the podcast stuff, while the TikTok remains to be all your behind the scenes stuff. And it's all at Life of a Kitman as well. So anywhere you look, whether it's Twitter or Instagram, it's all the same. So then we spoke to the club. They wanted us to do the podcast. So we did that. We get the players to pick their 5-a-side team from players that they've, worked with. We have a chat with them about their career. We do a quiz at the end. So either I'll be quizmaster or Jonah will be, and the other one will go against the player. It's good fun. We have a good laugh with it. I think it's easier for us because of the relationship we got with the lads. So because we're with them every day, we can have normal conversations and record them. As opposed to if we didn't know him and we were just getting a guest on, it'd be very scripted, and whereas ours is more conversational. It's usually just one take, done, no editing, or some editing, because our guy that does it, he puts up multiple cameras so that he can switch from one to the other, so that it looks really nice when it goes on the club's YouTube channel. But no, yeah, and we're just keeping on. Like yesterday, for example, we spent maybe half an hour with Mark Howard, your keeper, because obviously yours, mine away, doing really, really well. We listen to that one and watch that one all the time. Mark's a great guy. he had some brilliant ideas that we're going to try and, incorporate into what we do. Yeah, it was really, really good. We picked up his shirt as well, so we got one of them for the kit room. So that's a nice addition. Yeah, so that's it really. And then we're just going to keep moving forward. We're trying to get guests from other clubs to kind of build the reach a bit. So we had Scott Twine in the summer because obviously he came through our academy, played in the first team, went on to MK Dons and then Burnley, and now he's gone on loan to Hull. But yeah, to get him back in because he still lives local as well was good because there's been a lot to talk about with him. He's had an unbelievable rise to the Premier League, albeit now back on loan in the Championship. But yeah, we got him on. We've had a lot of interest from other players, but again, with their schedule and with our schedule, it's just difficult to try and get people on. But it will happen. We've got quite a good one coming up that I can't reveal yet.
Ooh.
But yeah, hopefully I can get that nailed down today, to be honest, and that will be class. But yeah, that's it really. So all of the video ones are all on Swindon Town's YouTube channel. They're all on there. So if anyone does want to see them, we got our own playlist on the channel, so you can just go on the playlist and then watch them all through. They're usually about an hour long, but yeah, it's a good laugh. We have some good fun.
So we'll put a link down in the description for the podcast. So anybody wants to go and watch, listen, you can do that. And thanks very much for coming on the show, Steve.
Not a problem at all. It's been fun.
Right, so let's move on to future games, ones where we haven't yet conceded 5 goals in. Let's
and hopefully we don't.
So we've got one game this week, haven't we?
We have, yep. 26th, we are playing Barrow away.
Yes.
Kick-off as usual, 3 p.m.
Yeah.
We are away. The away game is at Holker Street, which is the SO Legal Stadium.
For sponsorship purposes.
It's about 2.5 hours away from Wrexham, about 135 miles away. 900 tickets have been made available and obviously sold out.
Yes.
Sold out. They play in white with blue sleeves, shorts and socks. Last season they finished 9th on 62 points.
They did.
And this season they have won 2 and drawn 1.
They had at the time I wrote that. But they would have played 4 by now. I'm not sure how they did on Saturday. Should have maybe double checked that. But
okay. At time of recording.
No, not even at time of recording.
Because it's already been.
Yeah, go on.
So they currently sit 3rd on 7 points. So they're not doing too shabbily, I have to say.
Yeah.
Their top scorer last season was Josh Gordon, who scored 15. He's now with League One Burton Albion, so we don't need to worry about him.
We don't. They lost on Saturday. They lost on 1-0 to Stockport.
Okay, so they've won 2.
They have won 2,
drawn 1 and lost 1.
There you go.
They're still 3rd, so yeah.
No, they were 3rd when I did
Christ.
So
let's have a look. Where are they now then?
Let's have a look where they're on the table. This is a disgrace. They're 6th.
They're 6th.
They're 6th, still on 7 points, obviously.
Still
I do
ahead of us.
apologise. There's me worrying that the equipment isn't going to stand up. It's just my writing skills that aren't standing up, to be perfectly honest.
So, this season, Emil
Akua.
Oh, was it Akua?
Yes, he was with Maidenhead last season. Don't you remember him?
I do remember. I couldn't pronounce it then either, so
No.
I'll just carry on the trend.
Yeah.
He has scored 2 so far, and he was obviously with, like you just said, Maidenhead last season.
Do you know who their second top scorer was last season?
Don't know, somebody who was with us.
Somebody who's with us?
I don't know.
Yes, Billy Waters.
So yeah, somebody with us.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm just going to...
So, let's do our predictions. We know we do this on TikTok and everything. And actually, we had an email after the Swindon game on Saturday from Peter, who basically said to us, stop doing your predictions. Because I think he's right, because we are so far out. It's just unbelievable. But what's your prediction for the Barrow game on Saturday?
I don't know. I'm going to go for 9-7. How's that?
Do you know what? Are you really?
No, I'm not going for 9-7. I'm not going for a clean sheet. I'm sick of guessing clean sheets. I'm going to go for 2-1 Wrexham.
Well, I'm going to go a little bit higher.
Higher?
Yeah, because of obviously the past couple of games.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go, obviously Wrexham to win.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go 4-2. 4-2.
4-2.
4-2.
Okay, sorry, our chairs are creaking together.
Yeah.
Do you want a stat? We've conceded, you didn't answer, but I'm giving you anyway. We've conceded 12 goals at home this season so far.
Yeah.
Do you know when last season we conceded our 12th home goal? Just a month will do.
January.
February the 14th we conceded our 12th home goal.
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
Oh,
And this season we've conceded 12 in the first 3. Not to worry anyone.
The only way is up, though, isn't it?
It is.
Not goals. Not conceding goals up. I mean, us getting goals.
A couple of people who got in touch quickly. 775OPW. Another great guest on the podcast today. As I have said in the past, it is just crazy having all these fans from all parts of the world. But we welcome them with open arms. That's just the Welsh way. Rob and Ryan have really put us on the world map with the help of Humphrey Kerr. Good luck to RJ with his book. Keep up the good work on your podcast, Ryan and Sham. We look forward to it every week.
Andrea Tannehill 645. Another great video, Shan and Ryan. I've enjoyed all of the guests you've had over the summer. Just as a note, Jordan Davis started for the Wigan game. Yes, I remember. I replied to Andrea and said I remember him coming on with his little girl. He was not a sub. I remember that because when he came out with the team, he took his baby daughter in his arms to go out and stand with the teams and refs at the start of the game. I found it a very touching moment watching him bring his daughter on the pitch for his start in his first EFL home game. It was especially touching after seeing the loss of his son in his first season of the documentary.
Yes, it was, definitely. Dragon Chat, just to quickly, Dragon Chat is a mental health peer support group. They do a weekly Zoom call on a Thursday between 7 p.m. and 8:30. You can follow Dragon Chat-Steve Lloyd on Twitter for a little bit more information. And they also do a Dragon Chat walkabout as well, where they go for walks on Thursday morning, give people, anybody who has any mental health concerns, they want to talk to somebody, they don't know where to go to talk to somebody. It's an amazing service. As I say, they do a Zoom call. They also do the Dragon Chat strollers where they walk about and you can do it more in person. So if you need any more information, there's some down in the description. If you're watching on YouTube, failing that, head over to Twitter, as I say, or just ask us and we're more than happy to help and point you in the right direction.
Yes.
I am going to go on.
Before you do that, if anybody wants to get in touch, you can get in touch on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Threads, and our email address is methewife@wrexhamafc@gmail.com.
Oh, we should do a jingle, shouldn't we?
We should do.
Yeah, maybe.
Get Alfie to play it on the ukulele.
Yeah. Right, quiz time.
Oh, Christ.
Yes, so we're just straight questions this week. You all right with that?
Were they?
There were straight questions last week,
Yeah, and I did appallingly.
Yes, I know you did, yes.
So let's do that again, shall we?
So, question 1.
Yes.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
It was Jordan Davis's birthday this week.
It was.
But how old did he turn on Friday?
23.
23. No.
27.
He's not 27.
28.
No, not 28.
31.
31?
25.
He is 25. You got that at the 5th attempt. I'm not giving you that. Not a chance.
I knew it.
You just shouting numbers out. Will Boyle started his first game at the racecourse against Walsall. But what is his squad number?
25.
25.
Is there a reoccurring theme
There
here?
is. Are you ready?
25.
How many more home league games do we have left this season?
20.
Correct. We have 20. Well done. Number 4. Which League 2 club is an anagram of downtown sin? Downtown.
Swindon Town.
It is Swindon Town, yes. I thought I'd try and make it easy for you. And question number 5. We now have 5 goalkeepers at the club, which is mental. With a combined age of 140,
Wowzer.
150, or 160. Oh, it's all gone quiet. It's all gone quiet over there. No?
Read the options again.
140, 150, 160.
150.
It is 150. Well done. Did you actually do like
On my fingers, yeah.
math stuff then?
Did math stuff.
Just one final thing before we leave. Well done on the quiz. Well done. How many did you get?
Pretty much all of them.
It's an absolute lie. You certainly didn't get the first one.
Got the second one. Will
right.
Boyle.
Yeah.
I got 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, well done. Just one last thing. The British Podcast Awards are coming up very soon. You're still able to vote for us.
Up until the 5th of September.
Up until the 5th of September. So please, it's the People's Choice Award. As Sian says, the voting closes on the 5th of September. Look, we don't think we're going to win it, but it'd be very nice to get a little bit of recognition. That would be amazing. There is a link down in the description on YouTube, or it's pinned on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. TikTok. Just one last thing before we go as well. I keep saying that, but one last thing. We're going to start a little predictions league. We're awful at our predictions, so we want to start a little predictions league. So every week we post a video on Twitter, on TikTok, on Facebook, all of the socials. All of the socials. If you want to join our predictions league, you're not going to be behind. Me and Sian have got none right so far. So all you have to do is comment on one of the videos where we do our predictions, or email us your predictions for the game. We will add you into the league. We'll do it every week. And then at the end of the season, whoever's top of the league with the best predictions, then we will give you a prize. I'm not sure we haven't even discussed the prize, but
didn't even know who's doing it.
No, well, we will do some sort of prize. Yes?
Yes.
Thank you very much to everyone for tuning in this week. Thank you to Steve from Swindon Town for joining us. It's been a pleasure.
And let's hope on Saturday, the Barrow game, it's a lot less stressful.
That'll be lovely. So we'll see you again next week.
Bye.
Bye.